Okay, so we're going to be doing vertical shifts, vertical stretches, horizontal. So we need to have in our notes all of those things that helped us, right? So what does it mean to be vertical? What does it mean to be horizontal? What does it mean to shift? What does it mean to stretch or compress?
Vertical. Okay, I'll name them all. Vertical is the whole.
And this one should actually be compression.
Does stretch compression go together?
Yes. So, so vertical means the whole function, right? All of the f of x, all of it. Okay. The horizontal means only the x. Only the x. And we're always doing the opposite, right? The opposite. Okay? Shift means we're going to be adding or subtracting. Stretch and compression basically means we are multiplying and dividing. Okay? Now, in essence, I think that's everything, right? Oh, and we should know that left means minus, right means plus, up is plus, and down is minus. And this should be in our notes. Okay? And with that, we can do anything. We can basically restructure all of this into symbols. Okay? Now, we're going to create a g of x. That's where we're going with this. Right? And the g of x is going to be dealing with the x. But remember, we want to go space, space, space. And so always give yourself those spaces. Right? And then we want to do what it tells us that we're doing. Here it says vertical shift up 3. Vertical meaning f of x, the whole function. Shift meaning plus.
We should have did the
right?
ones on the test.
Huh?
How come we're not doing the ones that are on the test?
This is the one on the test.
Is it?
On your practice test, on your midterm.
Oh, maybe I missed it. Oh, I didn't see the one on the first page.
First page.
Midterm next week.
So, the vertical is the f of x. The shift is a plus. Up is plus. Right? And then 3. So we're going to do the whole function plus plus meaning plus 3. And that's it. So what you end up with is g of x should equal x plus 3.
Horizontal.
Okay? Nothing really tough there. Okay? Now, we're not done though, right? Because I got to do a horizontal stretch. So the horizontal stretch, let's go with can't go with brown, let's go with green. Okay? The horizontal stretch, horizontal meaning the x's and it's the opposite, right? OPP. The stretch meaning times, right? A factor of 5. So what is times the opposite of times 5?
Times negative 5.
Divided by 5. Or times
Negative.
1/5. Remember, it would opposite in the terms of left and right. We talk about negative and positive. But in terms of multiplication, we're talking about dividing or multiplying. So one's going to be a solid number, 5, or one's going to be 1/5. Or if they give you like a 2/5, you're going to have 2/5 or 5 halves. Right? So in this case, opposite is meaning x times 1/5 or x divided by 5. It's up to you. So I need 1/5 out here Now, the only other thing you could have done was you could have said g of x is equal to x over 5, right? Plus 3. Either one of these would have been okay. Okay, so if you wanted to divide by 5, because that's the opposite of times, or if you want to multiply by 1/5, because that's the opposite of timesing by 5, either one is okay. All right, next. Horizontal shift right 2. Okay? A horizontal shift, horizontal means your x. What we do to the x is always the opposite, right? There are x's because they always did the opposite. Okay? Remember these terms, it'll help you. Okay? So x's are the opposite. And it's only to the x. And then we're going to shift, meaning plus. Okay? Right, meaning plus, and 2, meaning 2. So what's the opposite of plus 2?
minus 2.
Right. So this is going to be x minus 2. Okay? Now over here, we have vertical, meaning the whole function, right? Shift, meaning plus, down, minus, and 6, meaning 6. Okay? So now we got a plus minus, which really is a minus. So we're doing the whole function minus 6. Okay, over here we could get rid of this minus and this division, because really stretch and compression and shift is plus, stretch and compression is times. Okay? And that's how we're going to look at it. So we don't need that other one to confuse us. Alright, so I still need my g of x, correct? G of x is equal to, and I take this function, whatever it is, space, parentheses, space, x, space, parentheses. And now I start putting in what I have. X minus 2. X minus 2. The whole function minus 6. The whole function minus 6. So what I end up there with is g of x is equal to x minus 2 minus 6. And this is where I want us. Now, you get an extra credit if you give me the actual. 1 point. Tell me what this is. Now this one is pretty, you can't reduce it anymore, right? That's pretty much it. But for this one, you can reduce it. And you can get what?
Negative 6. I don't know.
Minus 8. Minus 2 minus 6 is minus 8.
Oh.
Right? Because there's no parentheses here. There's no like, it's not a squared, in other words. It's not up to the 1/2 power. Okay? So we were able to just put them together. It's easy. And that's 1 extra point right there. Okay? We shouldn't put that plus 1, but you know, extra credit. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to look at number 7. Horizontal. What does that mean?
X up.
Shift.
Plus.
Left.
Minus 12.
Okay? And then horizontal.
X up. Multiplication.
Compression.
Or division.
Right? Yeah, so multiplication by a factor of
5. 5x.
by 2/5, right? We don't switch it yet. We switch it after we do what's opposite. Now, unfortunately, I didn't write what function we're starting with on that one. We actually are given a different function. F of x is equal to
3x plus 2.
So we're given f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Is that right? Guys? Anybody? Oh.
What is it?
3x plus 2.
Okay. So we're starting with this function with number 7. Okay? So we got to adjust this. But first let's translate. Opposite of, well, first plus minus is a minus, right? And what's opposite of minus? So opposite of minus is plus, right? So now we have x plus 12 Okay? And then here, I have opposite of times is divide. When you divide by a fraction, you,
Multiply by the reciprocal.
yeah, flip and multiply by the reciprocal. So we have 5 over 2x. Okay? So now I can take whatever function they gave me, and I can create my g of x is equal to space, parentheses, space, 3x plus 2, space, and then now I can start plugging things in. Horizontal means just to the x, right? Just to the x, so that's x plus 12, okay? Plus 12.
And you could simplify that to be plus 14, couldn't you?
Eventually, yeah. And then, this is just to the x, right? So right in front of the 3. And the reason why it goes inside and not outside is because if it were outside, everybody on the block gets a paper, right? Which is different than just right here, 5 over 2. Okay?
Excuse me.
Sorry about this. Trying to be nice and getting everything all funky. All right.
Over 2, x or plus or
Times.
times.
Yep. So that's it. That is the answer. You want extra credit? Do some of the math. Right? G of x is also equal to, well, 3 times 5 is 15 over 2x plus 14. And so that would be the same. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7.